Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. Yeah, music is a little bit underprivileged in the UN and in the world as well. We all use it. We might even abuse it. It's very powerful, and I'm going to show you what we can do with it. First of all, in terms of sustainability development goals, we have, and I will talk about it, music and health. And here is evidence-based properties, what we can do. Quality of education, that project I did with Beethoven, shows that AI and human creativity can and should live with each other. And of course, peace and justice. And to show the power of music, you remember when you had to learn the alphabet, the easiest way was the alphabet song. You have a melody and you learn that alphabet. And we do this is some of my work, we do this for audio branding. In audio branding, we want to portray a company in 3 seconds or less. So those are a couple of those audio brandings I did, 3 seconds of music. And we should have audio. One more time. That's a T-Mobile, but I'm sure you know the Intel, it doesn't walk back. So 2.5, 3 seconds, and you have the brand awareness. And the brand awareness rose after implementing them by 60 to 80% in half a year. In terms of politics, peace, we have Secretary of State Blinken. He brought in music, he brought in Quincy Jones, Dave Grohl, we all know him, and they care about peace, and that is really needed those days, and especially at the UN. We can help that initiative. Support it as well. I hope I could bring those guys next year to Geneva. There is Quincy Jones and Dave Grohl and likes Herbie Hancock, and they probably could perform here. The project I've done with Beethoven, and pun intended, I did it with Beethoven. AI made it possible that I'm the only person alive and in history who co-wrote a symphony with Beethoven. How did it start? It was a phone call, and then this happened.
When Beethoven died in March 1827, a part of his legacy were 40 sketches of an unfinished 10th Symphony. In 2021, his work is being completed by an artificial intelligence.
Wir haben uns gefragt, was kann die KI in der Kunst, in der Musik schon heute?
Kann man eigentlich die 10. Symphonie von Beethoven mit KI zu Ende komponieren?
He was a radical innovator, always taking the new technologies of his time, and now we're taking the new technologies of our time to advance musical creation.
Wir haben einen Weg gefunden, wie man die Ideen von Beethoven in die KI reingibt und sie führt sie weiter.
Beethoven selber war ja immer aufregend, er war ein Rebell, er hat immer was Neues gemacht.
Es ist der Vater der modernen Musik.
Wir freuen uns sehr auf die Uraufführung der durch KI vollendeten 10. Symphonie. Ob sie Beethoven selbst so komponiert hätte, was er davon halten würde, werden wir nie erfahren. Aber Millionen Menschen können es hören und gemeinsam erleben.
So Beethoven needed technology and of course his genius to write his symphonies. And without technology we wouldn't have those. One is the feather quill. Without that we would just hear and maybe change the music. With that we have it verbatim, the piano and so on, even his hearing device. This is the amazing group of people we had with Rutgers University, Harvard, to work on this project. AI made it possible. And why AI? Because nobody in the world would be able to understand Beethoven with the same experience level, because we have heard Schoenberg, the Beatles, Nine Inch Nails and whatnot. So we could feed the AI with the knowledge of Beethoven. And most important, even with all his mistakes. Because if we just learn and teach the rules, it would sound like a scholar music, but not like Beethoven. Beethoven was making in professor's mind's mistakes. And his music can be depicted mathematically. When you listen to it, it's much better than looking at it. So when we started the project, I took one of the themes, which then the AI developed, and we tested it in Bonn. Bonn is a very harsh city. Beethoven was born there. The Bonn community is coming from there. This press conference, if you bring it up a little bit, please, was a test. We had critics in the room filled with a lot of naysayers and AI haters. And I asked, raise your hand when you think it's not Beethoven anymore. And the amazing part was, it was only the first 8 seconds Beethoven. This is all AI and myself already. So the critics were way too late raising the hand. That gave us the confidence to finish that symphony. It was very little melodies. Here is on a MIDI piano the main theme. This is what Beethoven left us. And then, when we worked for 3 years, day and night, it sounded like this. So from 24 bars to 16,000 note entries for that one movement. There was a lot of mathematics in there, and surprisingly, after the Elbphilharmonie, it was a big premiere, I got the call from Robbie Williams. Again, I thought it was a hoax, and he wanted to have Beethoven in his next release. He re-recorded his hit songs with orchestra, Angels, and he asked if I can bring a little Beethoven in his song Angels, and the only obstacle was, he said, I have 1 bar. And it's really hard to make any sense. So even if you use the Ninth Symphony, everybody knows, or the Fifth Symphony, it wouldn't work. So my idea was to use the Moonlight Sonata left hand movement, which pretty much everybody knows, AI, and
check out my new version of Angels rearranged and re-recorded with my very good buddy, Beethoven. I mean, with Beethoven AI, but you know.
And I got lucky. It's 33 seconds for the introduction, and the instrumental section, when we played it live, he liked it so much that he forgot his next entrance.
I sit and wait. Does an angel contemplate my fate?
And this is the proof to me that artificial intelligence and human creativity can live together and create anything you can dream of, and which was impossible years ago. I can send you this presentation, so you will have my contacts in the end, but I want to talk about something which is really close to my heart. It's music and health. And we can make a big change globally. Music is non-intrusive, is very affordable, and I started a non-profit called Health Tunes. And what we do is, best said in this, if you bring up the volume please. This prima ballerina, dementia, can't speak, can't talk. When she's remembering her music, she comes back to life. Those are the moments where you know music is magic, powerful, and I'm trained composer and conductor, and I love music, but I think more and more that music is here for our health and healing and well-being, and to support each other. And the UN can do this. We can do this worldwide. We can bring peace, calm, and we're working at the NICU. So quite often, preemies have elevated heart rate. It shoots up to 200 beats per minute. You measure the heart like music in beats per minute. We align the music with the heart rate and slow the music down with a very special exponential curve. And that baby, 30 seconds later, goes from 200 to 150, which is the resting heart rate for a newborn. I've seen parents and doctors in tears next to it. How simple we can do that, how we can really help in big scale. Right now we're working on a study with epilepsy, and it was found out that we can reduce seizures in epilepsy by 70% with a specific piece of music. Verzeichnis 448 Mozart. The amazing part is most of the music we deliver needs preference, so you need to like it. So that's why we have jazz and even 80s rock and pop and ambient music and classic. With that piece of music, we found out it doesn't matter if you love Mozart or not. What age group you are and gender you are, it helps. And we know now that roughly 50% of epileptic patients are drug resistant, so they need a new modality. And here music comes in. And imagine now that you can give those kids, those people who are plagued by that, in the morning a treatment with music, in the evening, and over time it accumulates. So you have a longer solstice of not getting into the seizures. You can do this at home. We're working now with autonomous cars. Your car could be your doctor's office, a little bit nicer maybe and more private, and you get to wherever you want to. And I'm living most of the time in Los Angeles. Here you drive sometimes an hour. Can you believe you can use this hour for well-being, for feeling better? And we treat chronic and acute pain, even sleep disorders. And if you're in an autonomous car, you can get that sleep in you might want to need. Alzheimer's. By Alzheimer's, it's important the lyric recall, because we store the words of lyrics in a different brain center than the talking voice. And that can be easier oxygenated. So here, it is very successful. When you sing along, when the Alzheimer's dementia patient sings along, it doesn't matter if they sing correctly, but if they remember the words to it. And as I mentioned in the beginning, you learned the alphabet so much easier with the alphabet song than just A, B, C, D, like remembering the letters. It really can bring us back and help us in this epidemic of dementia we have worldwide. And many of the world's people, they have two diseases like obesity and dementia. We need new modalities to help. And music definitely is one, and easy accessible anywhere, everywhere. And especially in dementia, you've seen that video, we not only help the patient to memorize the moment, but they can memorize back. They can get into the state where they've been. That prima ballerina felt she was on the stage and has extremely positive moments. Thank you for being here, and I'm open for questions. And if you want to have that presentation, shoot me an email, and I'm happy to share.
Walter, thank you. Stay on stage. We've got time for a few audience questions. Thank you for that gorgeous presentation. If you have any questions, raise your hand. There is a microphone coming around.
Hi, thank you very much for this presentation. And my question is simple. So the aim of bringing back the memories to an Alzheimer's patient is to make this their existence more positive, or to bring them to or to cure it somehow? Because obviously they're quite elderly, and can they actually have progress? Do you have any evidence of progress, or is it just momentarily relief for them? Thank you.
Great question. If it's a further stage, you can help in the moment. If it's early stage, you can at least prevent a fast decline. We're working now with a Norwegian Brain Institute and trying to find out before it kicks in and help preventive. This is where we need to help and can help. But you know, it's like the oxygenation is happening, so it's not just the memory in the moment, even if you're in third stage, it goes much deeper. The patients start moving and having more life in themselves in the later stages.
Thank you.
Of course. Any other question?
What is the help that you need to scale this idea?
Well, that's a beautiful question. We want to work more with AI in medicine, especially with Ivan Rector. He's that professor in Brünn. Because we know now what music works, we don't know why it works. And here, especially in epilepsy, I think AI can be tremendous help for faster and better evidence-based research. Love to talk to you later. Thank you. Okay, I think that was the last question. Have a great afternoon and listen to great music.